All right, so we are here now with Robin from OCTO. Welcome, Robin.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
But you haven't always been with OCTO. That's fairly new. So can you give us a little bit of the story of how you got there?
Sure, I'm happy to. Yeah, I've been in travel my entire career. And I'd say the one place that shaped me the most for my interest in OCTO is my time at Viator. Amongst other things, I ran connectivity there, and I saw firsthand how difficult it is, even for a big company, to connect to everybody, to do it efficiently, and to do it fast. So I've had a few other roles since then, and really got an opportunity to come into OCTO as the executive director and really guide the members and everybody else who are all amazing volunteers and really passionate about connectivity, and help guide us to really a lot of growth and hopefully a lot more adoption.
So when people think about what is OCTO, what is the problem that's being solved, you've talked about connectivity. Can you talk a little bit about what that actually looks like? What is the problem that exists in our space?
Yeah. The problem is that everybody has their own set of API documents, and they're all a little bit different. They're all accomplishing the same exact thing, but they have different flavors. And so it's really difficult when you're looking to connect to 20, 50, 100, several hundred different ResTech systems, or if you're a ResTech system trying to distribute to resellers, it's very difficult to do all of that at scale. Many implementations could take 3 months worth of work. You might have a question in the middle, and it takes a week to get the back and forth of that question answered. And that's all just delay after delay. And certainly a developer trying to manage, how do I continue with this project, but it's kind of on hold, and start another one. I do not like that. So what OCTO is doing is having that common set of API standards and information that we're using for booking and availability and pricing and everything that we need, so that you're really just plugging into the same implementation that you've already had, hopefully over and over again. And that's saving you so much time, so much maintenance on the back end as well, and really allowing us to be much more connected versus how fragmented everything is and how difficult it is. Regardless of your size of company, it's certainly difficult for smaller players, but it's even difficult for bigger companies to prioritize this list of everybody that they want to get connected to. And so this really opens all of that up to be so much faster.
So, and is it uniquely for the experiences sector?
It is.
It is. And so why is that a thing? Is it something the other sectors have sorted out? And because you said the word fragmented, is it because of our sector being so fragmented that this is a thing? Or why is it even an issue?
Yeah, the airlines and hotels had a massive head start on this with their own open standards. So we're not doing anything totally new. We're following a lot of what they've shown us is such a better way to do it.
Right.
But I think we had this crop up of so many different ResTech systems and resellers, and now we're at that point where we're getting people together that are competitors and partners as well, but we're coming together to talk about how we better this industry, make it faster and easier for everybody. And one of the great things that I find at OCTO is you're on conversations maybe talking about the specs and what should the next capability be, or how do we need to modify something, and you don't even know what company people are with, because it's not about their own company or their own agenda. It's about how can we make this right for the whole industry.
Right, this is mutually beneficial for all of us.
Exactly.
So for us, by us kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So talk a little bit about, you're a new OTA in the space, let's say. What are the benefits of integrating or using OCTO as the standard for building out your API? You haven't built your API yet, right? Everybody's going to have an API because that's just the nature of the world. So they're looking at building out their API. What is the benefit of them building their API to the OCTO standard specification? It's not a platform, it's not a technology, it's just a set of commonly used terms, like a language,
Yes.
right? So everybody's speaking the same language. They build their API to the OCTO standard. What's the benefit of them doing that versus, no, you know what, we're gonna build our own API with our own structure and we're gonna make people connect to us?
Yeah, the benefit is immediate impact in terms of being able to connect to those other, whether it's other resellers, res tech systems, or other type of businesses that are already using OCTO.
Yeah.
And you'll just jump to the top of the list.
How many of those are there?
There are over 200 implementations of OCTO. So, and that's just what we know. There's, that's kind of self-reported back to us. So there's even more than that. If we really were able to poll everybody and know exactly how much is being used. But there's a lot there, and we have a list of known implementations. We also have a new certification program where you can actually certify that you are OCTO compliant. You can have a great little badge that you can put on your website as well.
Everybody loves a badge.
Obviously. And so if you're really just starting out, you are in a great position to just start out with OCTO. I feel like it will put you to the top of the list of somebody that when you come and want to implement, it's that much easier. It's a few days of development. It's not, months and months. The maintenance of it is easier. So I think even if you're starting out, you can kind of get a leg up in connecting to some of the bigger players if you want to, if you're using OCTO, because it is that much easier and faster. And what we've seen is that even people that have created their own standard, many of them go, ugh, I wish I'd known about this before I did that. But there are many that are actually redeveloping their own API to be OCTO compliant and certified and really redoing that, sunsetting what they have and really starting out with the, redoing with the OCTO standard in mind. PrioTicket is a great example of that. They have a lot of connections to their current API, but it was at a point where they needed to make some changes there, but it made more sense to actually switch over and just be OCTO for their API.
Doesn't it reduce the competitive advantage of some of these OTAs, though, if they use something like an OCTO? Because then everybody can use OCTO, and now everybody connects to everybody, and so what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Is that a fair argument?
I don't think so. I mean, we all have our own special sauce of what you're doing behind the scenes or with it or how it's all working together. I don't think it's not an argument that I get when it comes to, okay, are you ready to switch to OCTO? Nobody says that that's their concern. I think it used to be in the beginning. It was a good question. You've built this big moat of connectivity, and it's a good question, like, is that a concern? But now we're getting into like content capability, or they're looking at making more changes to their API, and you just can't argue with cost savings, faster time to market, and even those that have a lot of connectivity already, I think you've got a real opportunity to, just start with parts and pieces, because it doesn't have to be your entire existing API shuts down and you go with OCTO. You can start with pieces of it and implement.
You could run
over
it
time.
in parallel to the existing one
Absolutely.
and start to migrate over or whatever over time. Yeah.
Burning question for me is always, why is your logo not an octopus?
Clearly, I was not in charge then. It probably would be an octopus.
It was an octopus.
It was?
The very first logo was an octopus.
Oh, I think you did tell me that. Yeah.
And unfortunately, it looked a lot like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with James Bond, but there's an organization in the James Bond universe called Spectre, and their logo is an octopus. And the OCTO logo looked very much like the Spectre logo from James Bond. And so we had to change it because we are not an evil organization.
As we all laugh maniacally. Okay. Well,
No,
this
we
is
are in fact
devolving.
the opposite.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.